Deadly force used by police is getting more scrutiny than ever, but there's still no national system to track it.
And that is one reason that Scripps is committed to investigating this issue in a series of reports that we are calling Focus on Force.
In fact, 9 on your side, I-Team reporter Craig Cheatham has seen many cases of police force, and just last night we brought you his report on creating a national tracking standard. Today, Craig spoke to local police about what should be done.
Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, how's it going?
The car driven by Sam Dubose was missing a front license plate.
Your car?
University of Cincinnati police officer Ray Tensing pulled him over, approached the car, then shot and killed him. Tensing said he was in fear of his life at the time, but he was charged with murder. He pleaded not guilty and is scheduled to stand trial.
Where's all this shoot first mentality come from?
Aubrey Dubose is Sam's brother.
Oh, well, I feel like the police basically, can, it seems like they can do whatever they want without, any consequence.
Use of force incidents are investigated by police, but it's rare that officers face criminal charges even when deadly force is used.
We've come a long way.
Wendell Young retired as a sergeant after serving 25 years on the Cincinnati police force.
Anyone with that much power needs to be scrutinized very, very, very closely.
Young, now a city councilman, says officers should welcome more transparency because it creates better policing.
I don't want voluntary compliance. I would like mandatory compliance.
The FBI attempts to keep a database of officer-involved shootings, but a national Scripps investigative project called Focus on Force found that on average, less than 2% of the country's more than 19,000 law enforcement agencies report the data they collect.
3 police officers confronted with a suspect.
Recently, the Department of Justice announced it will collect and publish data on deadly use of force by police as soon as next year. But that system will be based on voluntary cooperation by police agencies and media reports.
If you're the kind of person who cannot deliver that sort of service, or you think that the burden of scrutiny is too much, I say do yourself a favor as well as the public and don't be a police officer.
The 9 on Your Side I-Team also examined the websites of every police department in Hamilton County, finding that most failed to provide any information about how or why they use force and how residents can file a complaint.
3 out of 4 don't even tell you that you have the right to file a citizen complaint.
That's unfortunate.
Is that a problem?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
In Ohio, 92% of the state's nearly 1,000 law enforcement agencies voluntarily report use of force incidents to the state-based incident-based reporting system.
This is how he will be remembered.
For the family of Sam Dubose, the focus is now on the trial of Ray Tensing, that former University of Cincinnati officer charged with murdering Sam.
What we want, first of all, what we want people to see is a strong, united family, a strong, united city. We feel like Cincinnati can be the example for the rest of the country.
On WCPO.com, the Scripps National Investigation Focus on Force is titled, When Police Take Aim, Who's Watching? It found that only 9 states, including Ohio, are tracking the use of deadly force in a central database. Again, those are states tracking that, not the federal government. By going to WCPO.com, you can also see the photographs and hear the emotional stories that document this issue and have helped to make it a national priority for so many people. Today, several chiefs and a sheriff told me they are not opposed to this new federal system that will track the use of deadly force. Woodlawn Police Chief Aaron Tillman says the new system will simply shine a brighter light on incidents that are already widely reported. Butler County Sheriff Richard Jones told me that regardless of the increasing scrutiny, he believes that police in general do a pretty good job. And Tanya, that's one of the things that we kept hearing over and over again from law enforcement over the last day or two, is that they really don't have a strong opinion on this database, but they think it's fairly redundant in many cases. And
I want to mention this, that Craig, you were involved in coverage of police shootings in Ferguson, Missouri, in Minneapolis that received national attention by gobs of it. So what did you learn in that process?
Well, I've spent a lot of time covering crime in the inner city and social justice issues and have investigated police departments, quite a few of them. And what I learned is that I didn't know as much as I thought I did. I underestimated the troubled relationship between policing agencies and in particular younger African-American men who don't trust the police. When the police go into some of these communities, they don't trust the people who are there because they're there responding to crime. They get not nearly as much feedback from some of these communities as they would like, and part of that is a result of this lack of trust. I also learned that the police response in some cases really seemed over the top, very aggressive, and in other cases they tried to pull back because they didn't want to be too aggressive and they weren't assertive enough. And at times it seemed like there was nothing that the police could do that would work. And I think if there's anything that does work, it seems to be time and effort over a long period of time, and you just have to earn the trust. People in the community, in some cases, need to earn the trust of the police, and the police need to earn that trust in the community.
This is going to be an issue that is going to be ongoing for some time. We have Ray Tenzing's trial starting up on Monday, and so obviously we're going to have you following this, and we'll be following other stories as well. Thanks so much, Craig.
You're welcome.